Hi, everyone. I'm Dave Shore, and welcome to the 3-1 group. And as we do each and every time here on this channel, we like to assemble the three of us and talk about some of the topics and some of the struggles that you may face in the business world as we come from the worlds of marketing, media, sales, and content producing. And I welcome in my colleagues, Kevin Kolbe and Mike Morgan as well. And gentlemen, we always try to tackle some of those pertinent topics that everyone will encounter along the way, whether it becomes just part of the process or if it becomes one of those hurdles out there. And when I say process, that brings up the topic for today. When you focus on the process and not the outcome, that's the true thing that you're trying to do eventually. And when I say that, Mike Morgan, what do you think about?
Yeah, I think about in business, particularly, and maybe in life, definitely in athletics. Far too often we set a goal and have a vision for what we're trying to accomplish, and I'll speak personally. I then get almost myopically focused on the outcome, what I'm trying to achieve, and when I do that, I am not spending enough time and investing enough energy focusing and concentrating on the things that are actually going to make that goal a reality, which is all of the inputs. It's all of the things that need to be done to create the outcome of a goal or a vision realized. And really, the magic of success is built on the focus and consistency of the inputs, regardless of the long-term or goal vision for what you're trying to accomplish as an output.
Yeah, I had a friend that actually was talking about something related today on Twitter, the source for everything, and she made the comment, yeah, you don't go buy a car and then go get it home and go, well, how do you drive it and what all do I need now?
Right.
You need a car and maybe a car can help you. And I think, and I've been guilty of that. I've been guilty of focusing on the outcome. Here's exactly what I want to happen, but I don't slow down or take the time to go, okay, what's the process? And honestly, by doing that, it can be more rewarding, or maybe you go, this is not the direction I want to go.
I think that's the big thing is before you embark on a journey to try and realize a vision or a goal, really have a granular understanding of what the day-to-day inputs look like, and from that understanding, I think you'll kind of be led to, is this something I really want to commit to, can commit to, and am willing to do, again, all of the little things that need to happen for that outcome to materialize, or am I fascinated with some potential outcome, but now that I think about all the inputs that I have to do on a daily basis, I'm not seeing myself do that.
You know what? It's funny, guys. I have to admit I struggle with this, and here's why. Because I'd love to talk about the concept of reverse engineering so many times, and if I am trying to do that in the business world or whatever, I am going to then start with the outcome and work my way back. Sometimes that helps me in terms of the mental and developing the process, but at the same time, you guys know I come from the world of sports and traveling with a lot of teams and athletes out there. And I saw it so many times that if they did focus on the outcome, and I think a lot of business people do this too, they picture everything bad that could happen.
Yeah.
And really the truly successful athletes or the truly successful coaches would usually picture the things that have to go right to get to that win, that championship, or whatever the positive outcome. But I think everyone naturally falls into that. If you start to think about the outcome, you're going to think about all the bad things that could happen first.
Oh yeah. And I think sports is a great analogy. I mean, if you have to be willing to adapt as you go. I mean, I can't think of a team ever, and they would suck if you said, "Are you going to win the game?" They're like, "Yeah, no, no, we're going to get beat." Now I know coaches will do the reverse psychology. Well, here's what the press is saying about, we're going to get a spanking out there. But you have to believe that you're gonna win, and you can design the play however you want. But if the guy doesn't break the right way, we've seen that in the football, where the quarterback will throw where the receiver was supposed to be.
Right.
So I think that's a great analogy, Dave.
Yeah. Let me build on that a little bit there. I think that's both the opportunity and the challenge, right? So we'll use the sports analogy. If you have a goal of being a championship football team, every individual that's going to contribute to that has to be committed to doing the daily work that they have to do, which includes monitoring their nutrition, their sleep patterns, working on their mindset, and working on their craft in intimate, minute ways. As a football player, are you leading with your left foot or your right foot? Is the break, at this second or that second? To your point, Kevin, is it a 5 yard and out, or is it a 5 yard and in? And in order to achieve the output that you want, which is to win a championship, every single day, you have to show up 7 days a week for the entirety of that season and do what you have to do to get the output. And I think that's where the challenge and the opportunity lies is, if you're at a point as a viewer of this segment, and you're contemplating starting a business or changing careers or launching a side business or really undertaking any kind of pursuit, the question for you is, on the 367th day, are you still willing to get up and do the things that you're supposed to do in order to give yourself a chance to materialize that vision? Or are you just daydreaming about the vision and waking up on Saturday going, I don't really feel like doing that today? Because those two things don't work together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, and advertising plays into that. I mean, the, what's the exercise Pennington bike, or is that whatever it's called,
Peloton.
You can obviously tell I don't have one. But we don't really show like, here's an obese person working out on the bike, no, it's the guy that's, he's cut and he's sculpted and he's like, sweating in slow motion and everybody's looking good because that's the end result.
Right.
And I think that's the danger in any business. It's like, you look at the end result, the outcome, and go, oh, well, that's all I want. And you don't see sometimes the failure, the hard work, the money, the sacrifice that goes into getting that.
Yeah, I think, I think for me, where I've kind of landed on this subject is you have to be willing to be in love with the process or the inputs, regardless of the outcome, for anything that anything meaningful that you're going to undertake, or you're setting yourself up for potential failure. Because again, the outcome isn't guaranteed. If you do everything that you can do, there's certainly a chance that you're going to realize the outcome. If you're building a business and want to be a millionaire, maybe you can do that. But if you're going to deem it a failure, if you don't earn the $1 million, you're probably in the wrong space, because you really have to fall in love with that daily grind and those daily things that you're doing, and hope that vision materializes. But the magic is in the daily material, the daily grind.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's so true, Mike, because you think about it from the sales world, Kevin, we think about it in marketing or in content creation. If you focus on the process, you're also going to develop those habits, that ritual that happens time and time again. It doesn't matter who the client is. It doesn't matter who the customer is. You're going about it with the same habit, same ritual, same system. And it's all about a system. And if you've got a successful system, it's obviously going to produce the great outcomes. But I do like this, guys. I mean, it really, really is a good thing to remember as to where are you focusing on. And so many times that outcome is going to slip you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So just a quick transition, like how do you go about that process? I think that, and this kind of brings up a point that both of you made earlier, there isn't a linear process from start to finish in anything, really. If it's starting a business, entering a new career path, getting a promotion, whatever you're trying to do, there isn't a linear path. For you, as you understand the path currently, you have to be committed to the process based on the current pathway. If you're cutting your way through the wilderness, you got to be committed to using your machete every day to cut things down. When you find a dirt road, you maybe then need to transition to building yourself a cane so you can accelerate, but you've got to be committed to the process as you understand it. But to your points from earlier, also be flexible enough to adjust and recommit to a changed process as you're moving closer and closer towards your goals.
Well, I think of the Olympic Games. I mean, to me, I've always marveled at these athletes that will practice 4 years, actually longer than that, for one event that may be over in a minute.
Yeah.
And, can you imagine the guy shows up like the day of and goes, I thought I'd swim with that Michael Phelps guy or whatever his name is, because I like swimming. Actually, that would be a fun video to watch, but that's probably a different topic. But yeah.
It's a reality show.
Yep.
That is a reality show. Well, gentlemen, I think that pretty well sums it up. If you focus on the process, the outcome will come, and not focus on the outcome first. This has been a good discussion indeed. And folks, we appreciate you joining us here on the 3-1 group. Please hit subscribe just down below, and then take a look at some of the other topics that we have gotten into as well. And don't forget, put your comments in as well. We'd love to see those as well. For Mike Morgan and Kevin Kolbe, I'm Dave Shore. Thanks so much for joining us on the 3-1 group.